normal. And I'm right, and it is, right? So we're going to open the show with the MAU choir. So please welcome.
Away
I always knew I couldn't sing because of my voice. Now I know I don't have the coordination to sing.
Yeah, who would have thought you needed that?
I know. That was the Mount Anthony Union High School Choir. And in the lobby, you heard the Bennington County Choral Society. Good evening, I'm Eric Peterson, welcoming you to the Oldcastle Theatre Company's annual Holiday Radio Variety Show. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and wishes for a glorious New Year.
Yes. I'm Christine Decker, and we have a lively audience here in the theater. And we're live on Cat TV. My friends joining us tonight include Richard Howe, Jody Mason and Tyler Shade, Tim Foley and Jana Lilly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Allen Poe, and we have a spectacular cast today. I can't wait to see what we do, including Willie Jones. We have a classic radio version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
A visit with George and Gracie, and a surprise or two.
So let's get started on our 7th annual old-time radio variety show. Now we'll start.
This is the 6th, not the 7th.
No, Rick, the 7th. The first one was in June 2013.
Yes,
so...
but we skipped a year, remember?
We did.
Yes. I had laryngitis, couldn't sing. And you said it wouldn't be a show if I couldn't sing. So it was canceled.
Oh, yeah, right, Yeah, I remember,
You lied to me? You did a show without me?
Well, you know, it was... I mean, people look forward to this show. It's an annual event.
And I guess when you all said I was integral to the show, you didn't mean it. But?
What? Think of the little children.
Yeah.
No, we couldn't have deprived the sweet little children of the joy of a holiday variety show. It's a big crowd every year.
Yeah, didn't get a big crowd the year I was so sick I nearly died.
Hey, you weren't that sick. You had the flu. Lost your voice, but...
Will you promise never to do a show without me again?
Do you promise never to be sick again?
Are you kidding? If I have to, I'll do my songs in sign language.
Actually, that would be very cool.
A radio program in sign language?
Yeah, I get your point.
Could we please just get on with this year's show? And to start us off, Rick, why don't you sing?
Well, if you insist. Of course, you know that first whole part of the script was fiction.
It's all fiction.
Yeah. Okay, I got my pips here. Maybe my peeps. Okay. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and mild and sweet their songs repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to men, and the bells are ringing like a choir they're singing. In my heart I hear them. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said. For hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. but the bells are ringing. Like a choir they're singing. Does anybody hear them? Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then rang the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then ringing, singing on its way. The world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime, of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And the bells are ringing, like the angels singing. Open up your heart and hear them. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. Goodwill to men.
Rick's not going to go anywhere now without the three of them, you realize that?
Lucky Rick.
Are you feeling down?
Depressed?
Do your toes hurt?
Is there a ringing in your ears?
Are you having trouble sleeping?
Have you lost your weight?
But no, you're eating less, and you're still gaining weight.
Then you need the new wonder pill, True Quackery.
True quackery will make you suddenly more attractive to the opposite sex.
You'll feel better, look better, lose weight, gain muscle mass, grow a new head of luxurious hair, and damn it,
You'll find yourself waking up every morning feeling 10 years younger.
do not take True Quackery. If you have diabetes, glaucoma, cancer of any part of your body, tuberculosis, cold feet, sweaty hands, thin fingernails, feet, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, or prickly heat, if you have had an erection for more than 4 days, call your doctor or a loved one immediately.
True quackery from Take a Chance Pharmaceuticals. What do you got to lose? It's only a little pill.
Paul Romero is here to sing, and Paul, take it away.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, before I sing my song, Ernest Hemingway is here with us today, right here in the front row. Thank you so much. The truth is, I hope that when I grow up, I look just like that. Big time. Gifts I'm preparing for some Christmas sharing, but I pause because hanging my stocking, I hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus? It sure is dark out, ain't the slightest spark out upon my slacking jaw. Who's there, who is it, stopping for a visit? Is that you, Santa Claus? Are you bringing a present for me? Something pleasantly pleasant for me? Then it's just what I've been waiting for. would you mind slipping it under the door? Cold winds are howling, could that be growling? My legs feel like straws. Me, my, oh me, my, kindly won't you reply? Is that you, Santa Claus? Oh! Hanging my stocking, I hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus? On the closed captioning for this part, it'll say, singer was dancing. Me, my, oh me, my, kinda won't you reply? Is that you, Santa Claus? Are you bringing a present for me? Something pleasantly pleasant for me. We don't believe in no goblins today, and I can't explain why I'm shaking this way. I bet I'll see old Santa at the keyhole. I'll get to the cause. Me, my, oh me, my, kinda won't you reply? Is that you, Santa Claus? Oh please, please, pity my knees. Is that you, Santa Claus? Oh, Mr. Gringo, soon gonna jingle the bells that'll tingle all your troubles away. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag. Christmas is here again. He's got a sleigh full, he's not gonna stay full. Got stuff to drop at every stop on the way. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag. Christmas is here again. He'll be here with the answers and the prayers that you made through the year. It's yours if you do everything you should. Extra special good. He'll make this December the one to remember. Best merriest you ever did have. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag. Christmas is here again. Oh, Mr. Gringo, is he gonna sing? Bet he can jangle all my troubles away. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag. Christmas is here again. Whoa, he's got a sleigh full, he's not gonna stay full. Got stuff to drop at every stop on the way. Everybody's waiting. Oh Lord, they're anticipating. This is a different part. This sounds good, doesn't it? Got stuff to drop at every stop on the way. Everybody's waiting. Oh man, they're anticipating. Santa is here again.
Thank you, Paul. You can say you're welcome.
No!
Okay. Now, backed by popular demand, we once again bring you Gary and Christine's very special recipe for fruitcake. I know you're all excited, so get out a pencil and paper and take down this recipe.
These are the ingredients you'll need. 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, 4 large eggs, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 cup brown sugar, lemon juice, nuts, 1 full bottle of your favorite whiskey.
First, sample whiskey to check for quality.
Take out a large bowl.
Check the whiskey again. Make sure that it is of the highest quality.
Pour 1 level cup and drink. Repeat.
Turn on the electric mixer. Beat 1 cup of butter in a large, fluffy bowl.
add a teaspoon of sugar and beat it again.
Make sure the whiskey's still okay.
Try another cup. But turn off the mixer.
Break 2 eggs and add to the bowl and chuck in the cup of dry fruit.
Mix on the burner.
And if the fried fruit gets stuck in the beaters, pry it loose with a screwdriver.
Sample the whiskey to shed its toxicity.
Next, sift 2 cups of salt. Who cares? Let's check the whiskey.
Now sift the lemon juice and strain your nuts.
Add 1 tablespoon of sugar or something, whatever you can find.
Grease the oven. Turn on the cake tin to 350 degrees.
Don't forget to beat off the turnip. And throw the bowl out the window.
The whiskey again. Go to bed.
Who the hell likes fruitcake anyway?
Next Saturday night, you can all go to the Bennington Museum's annual Christmas Gala, and then that's on the 14th, and then on the 21st, Matt Edwards and Buck 250 will be here with a Buck 50 Christmas.
That's right.
Right?
That's right, yes.
And now you're going to get a preview. You don't really need a preview, it's Matt Edwards. You know Matt Edwards, but Matt Edwards is going to sing for us. Go ahead.
Ooh.
So, when I was a kid, as a piano student, I used to get in trouble a lot for taking the songs that my teacher assigned and kind of having my way with it. Like, and she would hold her hands to her ears immediately and say, stop doing that. And what you learn in life is the things you get in trouble for as a kid is sometimes what you get paid for as an adult. So, I'm going to do a song. This is actually going to be an instrumental. This is my Louisiana-fied version of Do You Hear What I Hear? And my new title is called You Done Heard That?
Awkward pause.
That's it?
So now we'll do a question and answer section.
I was just listening to the director. I don't know.
That would be your error, Willie.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
How many times have I told you never to do that?
Many. One of
Have you ever
radio's.
listened?
Well, once in a while.
Once.
One of radio's most popular comedy teams was George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, once upon a time, Gracie decided to run for president. As we get closer to an election year, it might be fun to revisit this once-in-a-lifetime candidate. So, here are George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Thank you. Say, Gracie, your birthday's coming up.
Yes, George. You know, when I was born, I was so surprised I didn't talk for a year and a half.
You grew up in a wonderful family. Your mother was a wonderful cook.
Oh, yes. When she had to get a dinner for 8, she'd make just enough for 16 and only serve half.
Now, I remember she had a classic recipe for roast beef.
Oh my, yes. 1 large roast beef and 1 small roast beef. Put them in the oven. When the small one burns, the big one's done.
Very smart, very smart. And now you're running for president.
Yes, George. I think I can trump them all. I'm the candidate who forgot to take off her hat when I threw it in the ring.
We'll wait for you. How's your platform coming?
I'm having my platform designed by a movie set director, so it will be very impressive from the front, but not too permanent. After all, there's no sense putting in a lot of time and thought into something you have no use for once you're elected.
But isn't the platform important?
A political platform is something the candidate stands for and the voters fall for.
Well, good luck in your campaign.
Remember, the president of today is just the postage stamp of tomorrow.
Say goodnight, Gracie. Say goodnight.
Good night.
And I believe Mr. Romero is going to do another song and perhaps even dance.
Oh, God. I promise to save you from the dancing section again. If it can be done, go for it, Maybe it's just too early in the game. Oh, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year? New Year's Eve. Wonder whose arms will hold you good and tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock that night. Welcoming in the new year, New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you've received. Oh, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes that jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year? New Year's Eve. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the snow, neighbors to and fro, Yuletide by the fireside, how fast the seasons go. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
When Charles Dickens presented this little story to the world almost 100 years ago, he found an instant response in the hearts of people everywhere who saw in it their favorite fictional chronicle of what Christmas is and what Christmas means to all the people of the earth.
Marley was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Scrooge and Marley were partners for I don't know how many years. But he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house, a grim, cheerless place, if ever there was one. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open that he might keep his eye upon his clock, Bob Cratchit, who in a cold and dismal little cell beyond worked at his ledgers.
19, 20, 21, 20, 23, 26, 29, 9, here's the 2, 17, 13, 17, 7.
Bob Cratchit!
Oh, yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Stop that infernal cat watering!
Yes, sir. 9, 15, 17.
Sing their idiotic Christmas carols at my very door. Go on, get away from my door! Go on. Get away from my door.
Right, Governor. It's an old Christmas custom, you know.
Yes, and I don't want any of your old customs. Take your fellow fools and go away. Christmas. Blah.
Right, sir. Merry Christmas anyways.
Yeah. Now you get that letter from Higgins and Blackthorn. Then I want you to finish posting this ledger. And after that, you can pop over to Parthingale's and tell Ephraim Parthingale you've come after the 17 shillings and 6pence he's owed me.
Mr. Parthingale's wife has been ill, sir.
Oh, what do I care about his wife? I want my 17 and 6.
I just thought it being Christmas, sir.
Christmas. Christmas. You mentioned that word to me once more, Bob Cratchit, and I'll...
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. A Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Fred.
God save you, Uncle.
Ah! Humbug!
Christmas, a humbug, Uncle. Now, I'm sure you do not mean that.
I mean just that. Exactly that. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you? You're poor enough.
Well, what right do you have to be dismal about Christmas, Uncle? You're rich enough.
Yeah.
Now, Uncle, don't be cross.
What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? Merry Christmas. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes out with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Now, nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it, Uncle. Hardly.
What do you want? A Christmas gift, I've no doubt.
I came to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
A Merry Christmas. What good may a Christmas do you? Ha! Ha! Much good has ever done you.
I've always thought of Christmas as a time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good. And will do me good. I say God bless it.
God bless Christmas!
Let me hear another sound out of you, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. As to you, nephew, I wonder you don't go into Parliament. You talk enough nonsense.
Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. I want nothing from you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I tried. A Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year, too.
Bah, humbug.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Bob, and the missus. And to Tiny Tim.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fred. Same to you, sir.
Nonsense. Twaddle. Flummery. Talking of Christmas and not 2 sixpences to jingle together in his trousers pocket. Hey, you there, Bob Cratchit, come here. What are you doing there?
I'm only putting a bit more coal in the fire, Mr. Scrooge. Seeing it so cold in there, sir, I'm sorry my fingers were getting a little stiff.
Then put on your mittens. There's someone at the door. Go on, see who it is.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is the firm of Scrooge and Marley.
Yes, sir.
I should like to see the head of the firm, if I may.
Oh, very good, sir.
What is it?
A gentleman to see you, Mr. Scrooge.
May I have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's been dead these 7 years tonight. I'm Scrooge.
Oh, now, Mr. Scrooge, at this season of the year, it's only fitting that we, who are more fortunate, should raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. You may not believe it, sir, but many thousands are now in want of common necessities. Well, and hundreds of thousands are in want of the simplest comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Oh, there are plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses? They're still in operation, I trust.
Well, I wish I could say they are not, but they are, sir.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then?
Both are very busy, sir.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course.
Well, no, sir. All these institutions that you mentioned are flourishing, but well, it's nevertheless true that some additional provision for the poor and the destitute must be made. A few of us, upon change, are endeavoring to raise such a fund, you see, and well, what shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, well, I see. You wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas time, and I can't afford to help make a lot of idle people merry. I'd help to support the establishments that take care of the poor. They cost enough. Let those who are badly off go there.
Well, many can't go there, sir, and many would rather die.
Then my advice to them is to do so, and decrease the surplus population. Besides, I've only your word for it that all this is so. It is not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Good afternoon, sir.
Quite understand, Mr. Scrooge. Good afternoon.
Cratchit, show this gentleman out.
Yes, sir. This way, please. Sir, I couldn't help overhearing. I should like to contribute tuppence.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir. But it isn't much, but it's all I can afford. There are others in worse situations than I.
Well, you're a generous fellow. I wish I might say so for your employer.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Merry Christmas.
Cratchit, Merry Christmas. Yes, sir.
Close the door.
Yes, sir. 24, 31, 1, carry 3. New scarlet tippet for Tiny Tim, a comb for Martha. 33, 3, and carry 3.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir.
It's too late to have you go to Partingales. You'll be closed up at Christmas like these other fools. We may as well close up.
Yes, sir. It is getting a little dark. Hard to see the figures.
I suppose you want the entire day tomorrow.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair either. If I was to stop you half a crown wages, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound.
Well, sir,
Yeah, but you don't think me ill-used when I pay you a day's wages for no work.
Well, it's only once a year, sir.
Once a year, indeed. A fine excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose there's no good talking. You must have the whole day. Well, see that you were here all the earlier the next morning.
Oh, I will, sir. I will indeed. Good night, sir, and Merry Christmas.
Ah.
The office was closed in a twinkling, and Bob Cratchit, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no great cough, ran home to Camden Town to play with his family at Blind Man's Buff. Scrooge, on the other hand, took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern. Having read all the newspapers and spent the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went to his dismal house. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. The yard was so dark that even Scrooge had to grope with his hands through the fog to find the door. Scrooge walked through his rooms, sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa, nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet. He double-locked himself in and took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers, and his nightcap, and sat down before the fire to take his gruel.
Marley? Marley? I could have sworn I saw old... Ah, humbug. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Humbug, all humbug. What I need is good nights. What's that? Someone's in the wine cellar. But the door's locked and double-locked. Something is coming. Something is coming closer. Outside my door. Ah, I won't believe it. It's humbug still.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Marley, who knew? What do you want with me?
I want much of you, Ebenezer.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Oh, you're very particular for a ghost. All right then, who were you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley? But you're dead. You died 7 years ago.
7 years ago, this very night. What's wrong, Ebenezer? Don't you believe in me?
I do not.
You doubt your senses, Ebenezer?
Yes. Yes, because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You can't be a ghost. You may be an undigested bit of beef, or a blot of mustard, or a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There may be more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Ah! I do believe you. You are a ghost, Jacob.
Thank you.
Why? Why do you walk the earth, Jacob? Why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men, travel far and wide, to witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, turned to happiness.
But tell me, Jacob, what is that chain you wear around you?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it, link by link, and yard by yard, by my own free will. Is its pattern strange to you, Ebenezer?
Cash boxes, keys and padlocks, ledgers and purses?
Yours was as heavy and as long as this 7 years ago. You have labored on it since, Ebenezer.
Oh, Jacob, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
Comfort? I have none to give. I cannot rest, I cannot stay, I cannot linger. Weary journeys lie before me.
You travel fast?
Yes, Ebenezer, on the wings of the wind.
7 years dead and traveling all that time?
7 years. 7 years of remorse, Ebenezer. Do you know that no space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunities misused?
Always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, benevolence, they were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business.
Jacob, don't take on so.
Listen to me, Ebenezer.
I'll listen to you, Jacob. Go on, Jacob. Now, speak to me, but don't be so flowery.
Ebenezer, I am here to warn you that you yet have a chance of hope of escaping my fate. Do you hear that, Ebenezer?
Yes, Jacob. Yes, you were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thanks, Jacob, but go on. How shall I escape? Oh, I am afraid, Jacob.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the only chance and hope, Jacob?
It is your only chance and hope.
Well then, I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Ebenezer, look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us. Remember, when the bell tolls 1, look for the first spirit.
Marley! Jacob, Marley!
Scrooge awoke. He was lying on his bed, fully dressed. Suddenly the curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them, as close to it as I am to you. And I am standing in the spirit at your elbow. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. The arms were long and muscular, the hands the same, as if its hold were of uncommon strength.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Who's that? Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold me?
I am that spirit.
What are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
But what do you want to be? What brings you here to haunt me?
Your welfare, Ebenezer Scrooge. Rise and come with me.
Oh, no, not out the window. I can't do that. I'll fall down. I'm not a spirit. I'm mortal. I'll fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand upon your heart, and you shall be upheld in more than this. Come, follow me.
Where are we? What's become of the city? And there's snow on the ground. Where are we?
These are the shadows of the things that have been. You recognize this countryside.
Hello. I know every inch of it, every rock, every tree.
And a bleak building over there.
Ah, that building. Hey, I was a boy there. Yes, I went to school in that horrible place.
Do you recollect that path?
I could walk it blindfold.
Strange you should have forgotten it so many years. Come, let us go closer. Look through the window into that cold, barren room. What do you see?
I see a boy.
A solitary child, neglected by his family, alone.
Yes, I see. I know that boy. I was so lonely. Poor boy.
Your lip is trembling, Scrooge. And what is that on your cheek?
It's nothing at all. I wish I... Ah, it's too late now.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Waves came to my door singing Christmas carols last night, and there was a boy like that among them. A poor, pale, thin little boy in a ragged coat. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Is that all? Come, Ebenezer Scrooge, let us see another Christmas. Do you know this place, Ebenezer Scrooge?
No, this is the counting house where I was apprenticed. It's my old master, bless his heart, old Fezziwig. My master, alive again and hosting one of his Christmas parties.
Pick your partners.
Listen to him.
Corkscrew, thread the needle, and back to your place.
And there's Dick Wilkson. Poor Dick. Yes, and look, there's Mrs. Fezziwig, looking younger than any of them. Oh, what a jolly time we used to have.
Then carefree young man with a light heart and a gay smile. Do you recognize him?
Yes, yes, yes. Merciful heavens, how happy I was then.
A small matter for old Fezziwig to make those silly folks so full of joy.
Small matter, small indeed.
Isn't it? He has spent only a few pounds of your mortal money. Is that so much that he deserves praise?
It's not that. It's not that, Spirit. Old Fezziwig has the power to make us happy or unhappy. His power lies in words and looks, in things so tiny that it's impossible to count them up. The happiness he gives is quite as great as the cost of it.
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all, Spirit.
Something, I think. Speak.
Well, only, it's just that I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk about Cratchit, that's all.
My time grows short, and we have yet another journey to make.
Where now?
Come! This is our last visit to the past, Ebenezer. Here in this little room with a fair young girl by your side. Do you recognize yourself, Ebenezer?
No. No, Spirit.
You're older now, a man in the prime of life. Your face has begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. Your eyes are greedy, the eager, restless eyes of a miser.
No, please.
She knows it too, that girl by your side. There are tears in her eyes.
It matters little to you. Very little. I know that.
Bella, have I changed toward you?
When we were engaged, we were both poor.
Was it better to be poor?
Better at least to be happy. You were another man then.
I was a boy. You blame me because I've grown wiser. Have I ever tried to break our engagement?
In words? No, never. But in a changed of nature, in an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any value in your sight. So I release you from your promise.
Belle.
Oh, at first it may cause you pain to lose me, a very brief pain. But soon it will be like a half-remembered dream, an unprofitable dream. And you will be glad to be awake from such a dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen, Ebenezer.
That's enough. Show me no more. Take me home.
These were shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
No, no more. No more.
One shadow more. Come! Do you see this man, Ebenezer Scrooge? This man might have been you. And the woman beside him, your wife. And that girl might have been your daughter, Scrooge. She might have called you father. She might have been a springtime in the haggard winter of your life.
Spirit, let me go. Show me no more.
Listen now, while they speak, Ebenezer.
Bill, I saw no friend of yours today.
Who was it?
Guess.
How can I? Oh, I know, Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. On past his office window, there was a candle inside, so I couldn't help seeing him. His partner, Marley, lies at the point of death, I hear. And there Scrooge sat, all alone, quite alone in the world.
Spirit, I can bear no more. Leave me. Haunt me no more. Take me back. Take me back.
On the stroke of one, Scrooge awakened suddenly and sat bolt upright in his own bed. He remembered the words of Marley's ghost and wondered from which direction the second spectre would appear. At that moment, nothing between a baby and a rhinoceros would have astonished him. Being prepared for almost anything, and consequently when no shape appeared, he was taken with a violent fit of trembling. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour went by, yet nothing came. Then, as he sat in his bed, he became aware gradually of a great blaze of ruddy light which seemed to shine upon him from the adjoining room. He got up softly and shuffled in his slippers to the door. It was his own sitting room, but it had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked a perfect grove. Bright gleaming berries glistened, and such a mighty blaze went roaring up the chimney as had never been known in Scrooge's time. Heaped up on the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, great joints of meat, suckling pigs, mince pies, plum puddings, red-hot chestnuts, and seething bowls of punch that made the chamber dim with their delicious steam. In easy state upon this couch there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and held it up to shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the door.
Come in, Ebenezer Scrooge, and know me better, man.
Who?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me, you've never known the like of me before.
You're different from the other spirit. You're tall, almost a giant, with that great torch you carry.
The light pours into the homes of rich and poor alike.
Spirit, take me where you will. Last time I went against my will and learned a lesson which is working now. If you have anything to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe, Ebenezer Scrooge. Touch my robe.
Where have you brought me, Spirit?
A humble dwelling in a humble street.
It's humble enough.
That there is happiness here.
Who are these people? Who's that women and the children?
These are the family of your clerk, Bob Cratchit. His wife, dressed in twice-turned gown, but braid in ribbons, laying the table for their Christmas dinner, and there, assisting her, her daughter Belinda, and the young man with his fork in the stuffing. That's Master Peter Cratchit, and the two little Cratchits. Listen, Scrooge.
Why, bless my heart alive, Martha. My dear, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Oh, how late you are, my dear.
Oh, we did a deal of work to finish up last night. We had it clear away this morning.
Well, never mind so long as you're here now. Sit ye down before the fire and have it warm. Lord bless ye.
Yes, Father.
He's been to church with Tiny Tim. They'll be along directly.
How is Tiny Tim, Mother? Any better at all?
Sometimes I think he is, and sometimes I think, oh, dear God, if anything should happen to Tiny Tim.
Mother, you mustn't think of such a thing.
There's Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Martha, welcome, my dear.
Merry Christmas, Father, and Tim.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
Oh, Tim, you darling. Oh, Father, I'm so glad to be home.
And we're so glad to have you, Martha.
And how did little Tim behave in church, Bob?
Oh, as good as gold, and better.
I went to church, Mother. Oh, they sing the nicest songs. I hope people saw me there.
Saw you there? And why, Tim?
Well, don't you see, Mother? Because I'm lame, and if they saw my crutch, it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas who it was made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, bless you, my son.
Oh, yes, children, we're ready to eat. Come, come, take your places now. And Bob, wait your turn. There's plenty. Stuffing and dressing and plum pudding for all of you. Martha, you take care of Tiny Tim. See that he eats plenty. He must get tall and well.
Ah, now, my dears, shall we say grace?
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
No, kind spirit. Say you'll be spared. Say you'll live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, Ebenezer, the child will die.
Amen. And now, my dears, with such a dinner, a toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, and God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
And now, to Mr. Scrooge. No, I give you a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed, who pays you all the 15 shillings a week. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on, and I'd hope he had a good appetite for it.
Oh, my dear, the children. Christmas Day.
Well, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Bob. Nobody knows it better than you, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
And I say God bless him too, Mother, and everyone.
There was nothing of high mark in all this. They were not a handsome family. These Cratchits, they were not well dressed. Their shoes were far from being waterproof. Their clothes were scanty and had very likely known the insides of a pawnbroker's. But they were happy, grateful, and contented. When at last they faded, Scrooge had his eye upon them, and especially on Tiny Tim, until the last. Many calls Scrooge made that night at the Ghost of Christmas Present. Down among the miners they went, who labor in the bowels of the earth, and out to sea among the sailors at their watch, dark, ghostly figures in their several stations. Much they saw, and far they went, and many places they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirits stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. In hospital and jail, where vain man in his little brief authority had not made fast the door and barred the spirit out, the spirit left his blessing. It was a long night, if it was only a night, and while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark! The hour has come.
Oh no, not yet. Not yet. There are still more things I wish to learn.
There's these you will learn from still another spirit. Still another spirit, Ebenezer.
Scrooge looked about him for the ghost. It had vanished, and he found himself once more in his bed, in his dressing gown, and his nightcap on his head. He heard the clock strike, and then he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting up his eyes, beheld the third spirit. A solemn phantom, shrouded in black, draped and hooded, coming towards him slowly and silently, like a mist along the ground.
I know you. You are the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You show me the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Answer me, spirit, ghost of the future. I fear you more than any specter I have seen. Yet I know your purpose is to do me good. And as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, lead on. Lead on. The night is waning fast. Time is precious. Spirit, why have you brought me here again? To Bob Cratchit's home. It's not the same. What? Why, it's so quiet here, so very quiet.
Mother, please.
Oh, my son, my little son, Tiny Tim, I loved him so.
Oh, Mother dear, you mustn't. It's almost time for Father to be home. Don't let him see you crying.
Yes, Martha.
He's late tonight.
He walks slower than he used to, and yet I've known him to walk very fast indeed with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
So have I, Mother.
But he was so light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. Bob.
Good evening, my dear.
You're late, Bob.
Yes, I'm sorry, my dear. I went to the churchyard today. I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done your heart good to see how sweet and green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him. Yes, I promised Tiny Tim we'd walk there on a Sunday.
Father dear.
It's God's will, Bob.
I'm trying to understand it, my dear. My son, my little son, Tiny Tim, and I loved him so.
Oh, that's cruel. Cruel spirit. Can you give me one ray of hope that I may change all that? That Tiny Tim may live? Where are you taking me now? Here on a common street? Spirit, what is there for me to learn here? Who are these men?
I don't know much about him either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Well, last night, I believe.
It's likely to be very cheap, you know. For all my life, I don't know anybody to go to it.
Well, I don't
Suppose
mind
we
going.
make up a party and volunteer.
But I don't mind going if lunch is provided.
Come to think of it, I bet I was his best friend.
What?
We used to nod to each other when we met on the street.
Spirit, help me. Who is this man that died? Is there no one to mourn the poor creature? No one to follow him to his grave. Perhaps they'll give him a green grave at least, like poor Tiny Tim. Perhaps. Spirit, where are we now? Merciful heaven, a churchyard overrun by grass and weeds, choked with too much bearing, desolate, lonely, crumbling gravestones. Spirit, are these the shadows of things that will be? Are they the shadows of things that may be only? Huh? Will you not speak to me, Spirit? What is the grave to which you point? Oh, now I see it. There's writing on the stone. The name on the gravestone is Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. No, 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 Spirit. No, no, hear me. I'm not the man I was. Why show me this if I'm past all hope? Tell me why I can change these dreadful shadows you've shown me by an altered life. I'll honor Christmas in my heart. I'll try to keep it all here. I'll live in the past, the present, and the future, and I'll not shut out the lessons that they teach. Tell me, Spirit. Tell me that I can sponge away the writing on that stone. Spirit, I beg you, Spirit. I promise on my knees, I promise. Why, what's this? It's my own drape. Oh, I'm home, in my own bed, in my own room, and the sun is shining, it's clear, it's bright, no fog. Oh, what a beautiful day, glorious, glorious. Hey, boy, oh boy.
Yes, sir.
What day is today?
What's that, sir?
What day is it, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Christmas Day. Then I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. All in one night. Heaven be praised.
How's that, sir?
Listen to that. Listen, lad. Do you know the poulterer in the next street?
I should say I do.
Ha, an intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Tell me, do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging in the window?
The one as big as me.
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now, sir.
That's wonderful. Go down with it and tell him to send it to Bob Cratchit and his family on Broad Street. And mind you, they're not to know who's paid for it. Go along. Hurry, my lad. Here, wait a minute. Here's a half-a-crown for your trouble.
Yes, sir. And a Merry Christmas, sir.
And a Merry Christmas to you, my boy. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather, as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. Merry Christmas! A Merry Christmas to everybody, and a Happy New Year to all the world. Hello! Oh, my dear sir, how do you do?
I beg your pardon?
Well, here, sir, aren't you the gentleman who came to my office in regard to that charity?
Yes, sir.
A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Allow me to ask your pardon, sir, and will you have the goodness to accept? I prefer to whisper this.
What? Lord, bless me. Oh, my dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please. Now, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
Well, my dear sir, I don't know what to say to such...
Now, don't say anything, please. Come and see me, will you? Will you come and see me?
I will indeed.
Thank you. I'm much obliged to you. Thank you 50 times. Bless you. Merry Christmas.
Next morning, Scrooge was early at his office. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late, that was the thing he'd set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9, no Bob. 1:15, no Bob. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come in. At last he came. His hat was off before he opened the door. His comforter, too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
15 and 21, 6 and carry the 1, 24 and carry the 2, 31 and 8 and 9.
Hello, you Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Step this way, Cratchit, if you please. Cratchit, what do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are. Yes, I think you are.
Oh, it's only once a year, Mr. Scrooge. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
I'll tell you what, my friend. I'll not stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, Bob Cratchit, I'm about to raise your salary.
Mr. Scrooge, are you quite yourself, sir?
No, thank heaven, I'm not quite myself. Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas, my good fellow. And a merrier Christmas than I've given you in many a year. I shall raise your salary, and we shall see that what we can do for Tiny Tim and the rest of your family. We'll discuss it this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoky bishop. Bob, make up the fire. Make it up, and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. To Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them. His own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. May that be truly said of us, of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
Still here? By golly, he is.
I have been marked tardy on more than one occasion, however.
You got anything else you can say?
Yeah, I got an idea. Good. It's possible that you folks may not be familiar with this song, so I hopefully I've won 3 free minutes. I kind of want to give you a holiday present, and as with any good holiday present, the way this works is you take that beautiful wrapped box and you put it down in front of somebody else, and then everybody looks at it for a minute, and then we'll open it together, all right? Let's see how it goes. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Now I'm sure you're wondering to yourself, what was all that talk about holiday presents in the beginning of the song? This song is written by Irving Berlin. And just on the off chance that anybody's not familiar with Irving Berlin, Irving Berlin came to the United States as a refugee from Moscow, a Jewish family that moved into the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And of course, Irving Berlin went on to be one of the greatest American songwriters. And Irving Berlin, a refugee from Moscow, wrote one of the most famous holiday Easter songs that's ever been written, Easter Parade. That gentleman from another country wrote one of the most famous American songs that's ever been written, God Bless America. And the amazing irony, he wrote one of the most famous Christmas songs, White Christmas. So, let's get to the opening of the present part, which is what we're all waiting for anyway, right? What I'd like to do, if it's all right with you, I know that everybody in this room knows at least most of the words to this song. So if you don't mind, as a holiday present for me, I would like it if everybody in this room sang this song with me. And I want you to know I will be taking attendance on the off chance that anybody doesn't. So with Matt and Mike's help, we're all going to sing White Christmas together. Can I get an amen? Amen! All right. stand to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Very nicely done. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, New York.
Our annual holiday variety show would not be complete without Lynn. Sweet singing, so please welcome.
I want you all to know that I really do know other songs. I'm not just a one-hit wonder up here, but this is such a beautiful song and so many requested that I'm just going to keep going with Oh Holy Night. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Led by the light of faith serenely beaming, with glowing hearts by his cradle we stand. So led by light of a star sweetly gleaming, here came the wise men from the Orient land. The King of Kings lay in a lowly manger, for all our trials
this show with Old Lang Syne, and everybody sings. The audience, all the cast, everybody together. Gary asked me today, why do we always sing Old Lang Syne at the end? And there are several reasons. This show is all about tradition, and this is a very traditional song. It's about the holiday spirit, and New Year's is coming up. But primarily we sing this song because I really like this song. So we're going to sing the verse that everybody knows, and then the chorus, and then we'll say goodnight. Everybody up, let's sing this song. Thank you.